everybody, welcome and thank you so much for checking out my channel today. My name is Tanny and I am an independent author and somebody who just really loves a great story. So on this channel I talk about writing, books I've enjoyed, and lessons I've learned on my publishing journey. Today I'm super excited because I'm doing a collaboration with another author friend of mine, Michelle Winkler. And Michelle is the author of the dark fantasy novel Dust on the Altar, which follows a reluctant witch trying to regain her powers in order to protect her coven. Michelle also has a YouTube channel where she provides lots of advice and tips for indie authors, which is something that I'm also trying to do on my channel. So today we are going to talk about the 10 most important lessons that we've learned in self-publishing. I'll only be talking about 5 of those lessons here. So when you're done watching, be sure to hop over to Michelle's channel to check out the rest. I will post a link to her video in the description below and in the cards at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's dive in. Lesson number 1, you need patience. Writing a book is not a quick process, not for most people, and especially if you're a newer writer. It's probably going to take you several weeks or months or even years to draft an entire novel, and that's not even including all the stuff that comes after. You really have to be patient with yourself and set realistic expectations for when you can get certain things done by, as well as how quickly you can write and the time and effort that is going to need to go into making your book the best it can be. A lot of the times when you're revising or even as you're writing, you're going to come across major issues that need to be fixed or changed. And after you've already spent so much time and energy on a story, it can be really tempting to just throw your hands up and ignore a plot hole or throw in some quick band-aid solution that doesn't really address the underlying issue. Often you will have to spend a lot of time thinking about how to fix a problem or how to change things to make the story better. Sometimes you'll try something and realize halfway in that it doesn't work as well as you wanted it to. And then you'll have to spend more time trying something else. It's really hard to be patient when you just want the story to be done so that you can get it out there and in front of readers. But more important than getting a book out quickly is making sure that you're putting a good book out there. The best book that you can possibly make it. Going through that process is going to be what separates your book from the negative reputation that we sometimes see with self-publishing, where people just write a first draft and don't even really do any substantial edits on it and just throw it up for anybody to read. Please don't let your book be one of those. Be patient, take your time, make sure you're really giving yourself the time that you need to learn and grow as a writer and to make your book the best it can be before you publish it. It does take a long time and you do have to be patient, but it's so worth it in the long run. Lesson number 2, timing is tricky but vital. There are a lot of steps involved in writing a book. There's the actual writing itself, but then there are also going to be multiple rounds of revisions and edits, getting beta readers and critique partners to provide feedback, more revisions and edits, and then even when the book has been polished, you have to do copy editing to make sure no pesky little typos slip through, cover design, formatting, maybe sending the book out to advanced readers for reviews, and then of course publishing the book and marketing it so that people even know that it's out there. It's not as simple as you just write the book and then you're done. The timing and organizing of all those things can be difficult, but it's super important. I've seen some authors get in such a hurry that they skip some of those steps, and to be fair, some of those steps can be skipped and it's not going to be a huge deal. If you don't want to do ARC copies, advanced reader copies, you don't have to, for example. But there are other things that are really important. It's important to make sure that you get really good feedback on your story and that you edit it to the best of your ability and get help with that. It's important that you get a good cover that is going to attract the right audience that you want for your book. If you don't take your time to do things right, you're not going to be making your book the best it can be, and you can really regret that later. So when you're getting a book ready for publication and planning for a release, just make sure that you're taking all of those things into consideration and that you're planning enough time to get all of those things done. How long are edits going to take? How long is the cover design process going to take? Whether you're doing it yourself or hiring somebody else. What are your editors and cover designers' schedules like? If you are sending out advanced review copies, how long do you need to give people to read and leave a review for your book? All of that can affect the timing of your book's publication. So make sure that you're really thinking about those things and giving yourself extra time if needed in case something goes wrong. Lesson 3, you don't have to do everything yourself. Being an indie author means that sometimes you do have to wear a lot of hats and do a lot of different things on your own. But it doesn't mean that you have to do everything yourself. You can and should consider hiring cover designers, editors, and marketing services to help you get your book in front of readers and make it the best that it can possibly be. I design my own covers, but that's not for everyone. It takes a long time and a lot of practice to learn and develop the skills needed to design a good book cover, and that might not be a worthwhile time investment for you. Maybe it's better for you to take all that time and energy and put it into writing the next book, or into marketing your book, or into some other area that is going to work better for you. In that case, maybe it's better to hire a cover designer instead of trying to do that yourself. I personally am really terrible at marketing. It's not fun for me. It's hard. And so a lot of the times if I'm running a sale on my book or some kind of promotion, I will use some of these marketing services and promotion sites to get the word out that my book is on sale and let readers know. And I have found that to be really valuable over the years. Self-publishing is really fun because you can do a lot of things yourself and take control of those parts of the publishing process if you want to. But just because you can doesn't always mean that you really have to, or even that you necessarily should. Figure out what you want to do and where you want to spend your time and energy, and what parts of the process you would rather outsource to somebody else and get help with. Lesson number 4, if you fix one thing, you just might break 3 others. This applies to a lot of different parts of the writing and publishing process. So if being an author is something you really want to do, it's just a reality that you're going to have to accept. You can be writing a scene and suddenly have an idea for a plot twist that is going to really bring everything together and be really exciting, only to realize that it completely contradicts 7 other things that you have written earlier in the story. And then when you go back to change some of those pieces to make the plot twist work, you might realize that it's connected to something else that needs to happen in the sequel. And if you change it, it's going to completely mess that up. And pretty soon you have a whole mess of broken parts and pieces that you have to figure out how to put back together in a way that makes sense and that works for the story. This can also happen when you're getting a book ready for publication. When I am formatting my books, I always go through at least a few situations where I change a chapter header or my page numbers or something like that, and it completely throws off the rest of the document and turns it all into a mess. Sometimes I will upload a file for a book cover and get an error message because something is out of alignment, and so I will go and try to fix that, but then suddenly all the spacing of the other parts of the cover are off and don't look good anymore. Or maybe I will have a proof copy of the book printed. A lot of the times the colors will be off when I print my covers the first time, and then I have to go and adjust them. But in doing so, sometimes that throws off other colors in the cover that I have to fix again. It does get really tedious and really tricky to fix all of those things, but it's all just part of the process. So the sooner that you can just kind of accept that and embrace it, the less frustrated you will be. And it is really satisfying when it all finally comes together. So stick with it and keep trying. And if you really can't figure it out, there's always somebody that you can ask for help. Lesson number 5, the writing community is awesome. One of the things that I have always loved most about being an indie author is just being able to be a part of the online writing community and connect with so many other indie authors. They have been so supportive and encouraging to me over the years. Most people are very kind, very friendly, very open to sharing ideas and lessons that they've learned along the way. And it's just such a positive exchange of ideas and information and friendship, and I really appreciate that. I have met some really amazing people in the writing community who I probably would never have met otherwise, and I'm just so grateful for all of them and for the ways that they've helped me learn and grow over the years. I've also discovered some really amazing stories from some really talented writers, and I love being able to see their success and their growth and celebrate that with them, and just to see how far they've come over the years as I've gotten to know them better. I just really love being a part of that community and would really encourage you to, be involved in the writing community and to find the people that you connect with and who can kind of be your support system, because writing a book is hard and we all need those supportive people who are also writing and also understand, the challenges that go along with it, and that we can support each other and encourage each other along the way. So that's all I've got for you. I hope you have learned something from my experiences with self-publishing. It's not always easy and there's always going to be more to learn, but that's really kind of one of the fun and exciting things about being an indie author. If you want to learn even more, please be sure to go check out Michelle's video. Again, I will link that in the description and in the cards at the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell if you want to see more of my videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye.